Hiddasix. We're discussing like different ways, different careers, a little bit because of previous conversations and just like the Industrial Revolution. Do you remember that one? It was like all these huge factories, uh, uh, just like mass production and division of labor. People had to retrain and redo like a lot of jobs. We talked about a gig economy a little bit, but especially with the outage, we don't want to talk too much about it. But you got to think about IT. People always think IT is the best and the only alternative for some people, but it's not really true. It doesn't guarantee anything, especially with the homeless crisis being epic for so long in San Francisco. You got to wonder if even having the IT college degree and all your qualifications, certifications does not necessarily guarantee you housing, a job, a steady job, a job in one of the big companies. We used to call them the FANG stocks, but a job in one of the big companies, it just doesn't provide certainty like a lot of parents and prospective students might think. It's really different in a lot of ways, and we'd have to actually think about how it affects businesses. I mean, how it affects careers and what is the specific area of concentration. Are you a coder? Are you a software engineer? Um, Depending on if you a lot of it is social media. That's what people love. I've seen a lot of people major in social media management and web development, CSS, kind of XHTML, kind of web web programmers, developers who can really um, have a career anywhere. I don't think it's like it's not exactly remote work, but it can be. It can be remote work, and of course, coders all work in teams. So you'd have you'd have all these different categories to think about. Then you have apps like a cell phone. You have a smartphone. You want to make an app on it. That's always there. So with that going on, you have to think if cell phones have apps and you have an app for it and you want to develop an app, does that guarantee sales, for example? No. I mean, just getting on the marketplace or the Play Store uh, doesn't guarantee in any way the number of sales, how much sales. I mean, now and then you'll hear something like Kim Kardashian app that sold over 1 million copies, 10 million copies. I think it was in the news because it doesn't happen that often. It's not like Angry Birds or something where it's just this craze of people just buying and uh, giving huge numbers that are attractive. But if you think about the business side of it, a lot of people, especially from India, that I knew a couple of them that are in IT, and they're American Indian now. They obviously had some problem with IT. I mean, they have good ideas, they have coding, they have a good background, they're very logical, very systematic. But the problem being is they can't get in usually because of, well, think of the disruptions that might happen when you enter into an industry or business because you're trying to. First of all, they can't get the. Suppose you can't get the job. You have a good idea. Suppose you start to do it, and then you think about how do I get in? How do I sell it? What's the business side of it? Uh, that's where we Americans, I think Silicon Valley and Wall Street really excelled in the global scale because we had startups that were phenomenal. I mean, if you read some of the business magazines, you'll get a better idea of how many companies were able to just raise 100 million, 200 million, billion. A lot of success stories and case studies of IT companies that are really started here with a great idea, good people working behind it, and nowhere else in the world have you seen the amount of money raised for new companies, especially IT companies, than in the United States. Wall Street and Silicon Valley, all working together. So at the same time, when you see those numbers, it's kind of undeniable. But then again, it's so difficult to try to get in these markets, try to reach these investors, try to appeal to them, and sell your product. While being an expert just in IT, for example, you would need all kinds of expertise, like a team to start up. I'm looking from a layman's term from some student perspective. You would want some business background, some marketing background, definitely some finance background, legal background. You want a copyright, intellectual copyright, stability, trademarks, trade patents, business practices, trade practices, all need to be protected in order to not only value the product the right way, but also to excel and motivate and compensate and reward the investors, investors, the designers, as well as the end user, so that they can have a reliable experience, a utility that they value and can monetize efficiently to get the best returns and to uh, be most effective as a product that is not only satisfactory but actually provides 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 a utility, nourishment, and function that is valued, hopefully above a monetary number that might be in the way. So, uh, yeah. So discussing all that, it does tie together a lot of things. It ties together everything we were talking about, actually, including careers, IT, immigration, businesses, small businesses, different areas of the economy, of education, of job security, and and yeah. So we'll keep talking about it, but probably in different fragments. And I'm sometimes a scatterbrain, so you're gonna hear a little bit about it here and there. But this is Paul's Jam on Spotify.